Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 story, The Head Coach, with me, Daniel. We're back for part 65 today, and after the transfer special and the first game of the season in the last episode, we're back immediately for the second game at home to Arsenal. Today, we'll be facing Mikel Arteta's side in that game before our maiden Champions League draw and transfer deadline day. We've also got a new signing to introduce, which won't be a surprise to those who were here last time out. But if you're looking forward to all the action, some big moments in this series, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from two long-term stories. We had a hectic deadline day with Hemel Hempstead yesterday in our One Club story, so please do check that out if you haven't already. We also saw the return of Review the 92 this week, which you can find in the eye above. But a massive thank you for your support as always. Loads of other links up there too, including the Twitch channel for regular live streams. But let's get cracking, shall we? Because we've got an awful lot to get through. We're going to start, though, before we get into the next game. We've not got any fixtures to review, with a signing. Because we were in negotiations in the last episode. Dougie had made an offer for a replacement for someone he'd sold. And he has now got them in. Jamie Shackleton has joined us from Watford. £7 million, rising to 8.25. It's a 29-year-old fullback. He's got ability in centre midfield. And he just fills backup voids in two positions, which I'm thoroughly pleased with. I don't like that he dives into tackles. I don't like that he gets into the opposition area and runs with the ball through the centre, considering we're primarily going to be using him as a right back. And I don't really like that his jumping reach is 2. He's 5'6" and his heading's 5. But he's a good footballer and he'll fill the void for now. So really pleased to have another good first team squad player in, and that's all it's really about, is bolstering the squad. There's also been 150 grand wasted on Curtis Thompson from Linfield, who only joined the year before there from Glenavon. He's good physically, but he's got nothing else and will definitely not make it at this level. We've seen another youngster go out on loan to non-league, and unfortunately, the director of football, Dougie Freedman, has not got much wiggle room. 11 grand left in wages, nearly 12, and 4.5 million transfer budget. What I'm hoping is when the TV money comes in for the Champions League, we'll be able to ask for an increase and maybe give him something to work with on deadline day, because I'd like to see our squad bolstered. Otherwise, he's reliant on players going out, and at the moment, despite the brilliance over the last year or so, there's only actually 2 players wanted in our squad, which is Reece Nelson. He requested to go on the loan list, but is wanted permanently by Fiorentina, and Tanguy and Ndombele, who is getting on a bit, but is a key component of our first team squad. So FC Porto, the ones chasing him. Otherwise, we look like we're keeping what we've got. So it's going to be an interesting last week of the window. I'm not sure if there's going to be much movement. If there is, there's probably going to have to be something spectacular in the meantime. What I'm looking forward to, though, is a Champions League draw. Before that, we host Arsenal. Now, in the last game, we beat Fulham pretty comfortably, a side expected to be in the bottom half. Arsenal expected to be 5th. Last season, finished in the top 4, and if we have a look at their general history under Arteta, they finished 3rd 2 years in a row prior to this one. So they are a side with a lot of quality. Those young players have come to the fore in this save. Odegaard, Aaron Ramsdale, still key components, as is Tierney, Bukayo Saka, they've got Richarlison in, and much, much more. But we're not going to worry about that, because when we're at our best, we're virtually unstoppable. The issue is, as we saw last season, we're pretty dodgy at home. Away from home, we weren't far from invincible, only losing 2 games out of 19. But here, at home, we lost 7 or 8. And this season, against one of the best sides, it's going to be a barometer of how far we can go. We've got a sellout at Selhurst, as you would expect. We've got a very strong team from the last game. And Barcelli and Boyer coming in centre midfield, there's not really anything I need to do. So Boyer replaces Ndombele, who gets a rest on the bench. Castrovilli switches over to a centre mid role. And apart from that, you're seeing the same 11 from the last episode. So Rosic in goal due to the Grabara injury. Bogle and Teo, the fullbacks, with Lenormand and Mepham at centre-half. Tahart, Boyer, Castrovilli, the midfield 3. And then Abdul Kadir, Diego Lanes, who scored 2 in the first game. And Tyrese Campbell, who got off the mark 2 up front. Hopefully, we can get a result again. Anything other than a defeat is success based on last year. So let's go and get into it. A big game for Palace. And Jamie Shackleton could make a debut off the bench. Well, just the one change for us we mentioned, 2 for Arsenal. Another one of the originals, Tomiyasu coming back in. Engin joins him in midfield. Milinkovic-Savic is the skipper. Luis Diaz, of course, made his Liverpool debut at the weekend in real life. He's becoming a star for Arsenal here. and Demiral and Carboni good centre-halves, so it's a very strong team. On the bench, they're a little bit younger and a little bit less familiar than you would expect, but we've got a lot of quality, and look, we have got a good first team, so if we can produce our best, we can give them a game. Just at home, we struggle a little bit more. The counter-attacking style against teams that play deeper doesn't work quite as well. So let's hope Arsenal come out and attack us like they're at home. Then we've got one hell of an opportunity. Well, 13 minutes on the clock. We're back with Kieran Tierney at left back, playing a long ball downfield towards Diaz, but Bogle intercepts for Abdul Qadir. Over the top towards Campbell. It beats him, but Lanes is in. Smashes the woodwork. I assumed he was off, but the right back must have just lost him, Tomiyasu, as Milinkovic-Savic finds Tierney, and eventually Arsenal get it away. Spurs seem to be back to winning ways. They've started well against West Ham. They've got so many good strikers in this game. I don't know how they all fit in the team. As Teo finds Mepham, we're back in possession. A quarter of the game gone. Rosic to Teo again. Not really getting out at the moment. Arsenal pressing high, and Odegaard wins it for Bukayo Saka. Up towards Luis Diaz. And there we've been done. Arsenal pressing us. We just couldn't beat it. And they nick it high up and get the goal. Three of the superstars, Odegaard, Saka and Luis Diaz, combined to give Arsenal the lead. We knew it was going to be a harder season. To back up a miraculous achievement is far harder than to achieve it the first time. And staying great is always the hardest thing, as Tomiyasu plays in behind to Richarlison. Adaramola wins it back, finds Mepham and Lenormand. Long ball towards Campbell, but he doesn't win it. And he's a little bit isolated up there. We're almost having to play like an away team, which normally suits us, but here they're just too good. Richarlison again gets to the byline on the left, cuts back to Milinkovic-Savic, to Odegaard, through to Richarlison. It's stunning football, and we're surviving at the moment. It's the only thing we're doing, as Tyrese Campbell wins a great free kick, and we finally get a little bit of respite. Lenormand straight back to take it, into Tahar on halfway, switches left to Lanes. He can run at Tomiyasu, gets to the byline, cross towards Carboni, who heads away. Tahar picks it up, back to Mepham. If we can get an equaliser before the break, we can't play worse than this. I'd fancy us as Boyer, in space 30 yards out to Abdul Qadir. Good challenge back to Castrovilli. Tahar shoots from distance. Almost surprised Ramsdale. Went through some bodies. He did well in the end. Tipped it away down to his left for a corner. But it is going to be taken by Abdul Qadir, who puts it up to the back post. Lenormand loses out to Richarlison. We're 10 to the break. Arsenal survived their first scare, and it remains 1-0 to the Gunners, as we've got a throw on the left with Teo. Into Diego Lanes. Plays a 1-2. Slightly overhit for Castrovilli there. And Luis Diaz wins the challenge, though Mepham picks it up. Out to Lanes on the left. We've really come into this game. Crosses for Abdul Qadir. He is completely unmarked at the back post. Two men went across to cover Tyrese Campbell. And Abdul Qadir said thank you very much. Didn't score many last year. He's finding his form today. 1-1 before the break. And that gives me a lot of confidence. A great time to equalise. Let's hope it gives Arsenal a little bit of a struggle for confidence. We're going to tell the lads we're happy, because the last 15 minutes we actually became the better side. Kieran Tierney's come off at the break, and Demiral's been booked there, as has Odegaard, as we've got a free kick in a very dangerous position. Abdul Qadir got one already. Oh, he's already got half his tally for last year. And this side, it just continues to defy the odds. Abdul Qadir with a brace, 4 minutes either side of half time. And we're ahead, just like that, against one of the best sides in the league. It's going to get harder once we've got Champions League football and 3 games a week, because a lot of this team is over 29. But for now, we enjoy it, because another missed header has led to it being 3-1. Lanes puts in a pretty optimistic cross just into the area at the back post. 2 defenders converge and miss it. It was Tierney's replacement who missed the header there. And Selly and Boyer advancing, gets his first of the season on his first appearance. It's 3-1, we've turned it around, and we're starting to look incredible. Demiral with a header from a corner, off the line by Teo. Saka brings it down. But we're in dreamland. I don't think I've had a situation in FM where both saves are going so well. And with just under 20 minutes to go, I'm going to make changes, because Lanes and Abdul Qadir, both regular internationals, both tired here. I'm going to put Alam Rios on the right-hand side. I'm going to bring Reece Nelson on against his former club on the left. He'll be an inverted winger on attack. And you know what? I'll do the whole front three. Campbell's not been great, so let's get young Chris Tipple on as well. 18 minutes plus stoppage time to go. It's 3-1. It's been a great turnaround. If we can hold on for this result, I'm going to start to think a bit bigger this year. Though Milinkovic-Savic has made a midfield run, left completely unmarked by us. Luis Diaz gets it. Back to Saka. We recovered our shape well here, but Saka's got quality, delivers to the back post, Rafinha's up. Well done by Teo there. Tomiyasu recycles. Been chased by the winger, but delivers to the back post. Luis Diaz to Rafinha, and it's 3-2. Game on, the winger's getting caught out. But this has been a fabulous game. Two top sides going toe-to-toe. And we're just edging it at the moment, but I wouldn't bank on it finishing this way. So it's a goal kick for Arsenal with Aaron Ramsdale. We're going to ask the lads to focus. I'm not sure if we're doing it a bit too late here, though. Been a good game, though, as Demiral finds Tomiyasu. To Rafinha. Over to Richarlison, who's been a threat all day. Finds Tomiyasu on the right wing. Back to Odegaard. Lovely ball over the top towards Diaz. He's absolutely terrorised Bogle today as Mepham heads away the cross. Saka to Aronson. Short to Odegaard and Sergi Milinkovic-Savic. Up to Richarlison, into Rafinha. I mean, you've got to applaud. That's a stunning goal. Hopefully VAR saves us. It was close for offside, but it deserves to be a draw because I know they've not hit the target as much, but they've had great chances. Arsenal, goal disallowed. We'll take it. We don't deserve it, but we will take it. Right, 3 minutes plus stoppages to go. I'm going to put the fullbacks onto defensive duties. Just make sure that we get this job done. I'm also going to do the same with Boyer. He will drop to a Mazzala on support. And on the wings, we will also drop Nelson and Rios into support duties. I know they don't really get to express themselves, but it means we get the victory. So apologies while I concentrate. We've got 1 minute plus stoppage time to go. Can we hold on through the 4? We have got a minute and a half. I'm going to praise the lads, try and keep them confident. And we've held on despite the late Arsenal fight back. What a mid 15 minutes that was. 5 before the break, 10 after it. We were rampant. Abdul Qadir got a brace. And Selly and Boyer in the end scored the winning goal. And that gives me faith we can compete for Europe again because they're one of the best sides in the league. So we'll tell the lads we're pleased. But it's the start of a big week. We've got our Champions League draw to come and then transfer deadline day. I'll see you in a minute for both of those. Well, it's been a busy week and we've got 2 draws because we're back for the League Cup third round draw first. A couple of quick bits of unfortunate injury news. Glenn Fitzgerald out for a couple of weeks, and if we go back a few days, Chris Tipple out for 3 as well. With the international break coming, means they only missed 1 game essentially, but still less than ideal given the circumstances. We've asked for a bigger transfer budget because we've got the 12.65 Champions League money now, the draw coming later today, but no response yet, which I'm assuming will mean it's rejected. Fiorentina have also made a bid for Reiss Nelson. That has been rejected by Dougie Friedman, the director of football. Doesn't match his valuation, but could he get closer on deadline day? Who knows? However, we of course now have the luxury of entering the League Cup at the third round stage because of European football. So we're not going to go through all of them. But let's just draw all the teams and see who we're going to be facing. So, we have got, please give us an easy tie, Stoke away in a midweek. Certainly not easy by any stretch. It will be a reserve side. We have to prioritise Europe now. The money is more important at that level. Even the fee for winning a game can pay a week and a half of our wage bill. The fee for a draw in the Champions League can pay half a week's wages. We've got to prioritise. We'll be back in a minute. 5 hours till the Champions League draw. Who do we want to face? Hopefully, we get a couple of big boys. Okay, so apparently there's some recruitment assignments for a centre mid, a defensive mid, and a sweeper keeper. I can't see that any of them have a value anywhere near the 4 million left in our transfer budget. So I'd imagine Dougie's going to find it quite hard. Let's get through the important bit though. We're seeded 4th for the Champions League draw. Basically, I'm hoping for 2 big boys and then a nice easy draw from pot 3 so we can stay in the Europa League after Christmas. Let's get through the first 3 teams though, and we'll see what group we want to be placed in. Right then, we already know we can't be in Group D because PSG and United, who are one of the other English sides, are in there. We can't be in Group A because Arsenal, another English side, are there. It's a shame though, because I would have fancied us to beat Celtic. And we're avoiding one of the groups of death, which is Man City, Juventus and Lyon. The issue is, there aren't many good groups, to be honest. Group H is one I'd maybe fancy to get through, or to get into 3rd place at least. Group B is very difficult, 3 massive sides, the same for Group F, same for Group G, and the same for Group C. So basically, I'm hoping for Group H. It's the only one we can be drawn in that I think we've got a chance in. Let's see where we place though. It's not going to be Group A, that's Salzburg. Group B is Barcelona, Leipzig and Roma. Dinamo Zagreb join them. Group C is Milan, Dortmund, Porto. Probably the worst of the lot. Dinamo Kiev there. We can't be in Group D. We can't be in Group E. So now, Bayern and Real Madrid are basically two of the biggest giants in European football. Could we get a result against Monaco? I don't know. Well, we're going to have to, because that's the group we've gone in. Two of the biggest teams in Europe will be faced by us. Let's see what that's done to the schedule. We've got Bayern at home first, so that will be part of the next episode for a spoiler. But tomorrow is transfer deadline day. Now, will the board accept our request for a bigger budget? And if so, can we get someone in? Because the squad we've got at the moment needs just a little bit more depth. Here we go then. Just to give you a little bit of perspective, West Ham, who didn't get into Europe last year, linked with £103 million wonder kid Lucas Dennis, who is one of the best young players in world football and better than anything we've got at our club. That's the difference we're talking about. However, we have been linked with Newcastle's Ederson, hoping to take the player on loan with an obligation to buy. That's not a bad idea from Dougie. You can do that. My word. Get me that player now. You can't tease me with that. That would revolutionise our holding role. Oh, please, Dougie. Please, let that be the deal. If you can pull that off, you are one of the greatest director of footballs we've ever had in any of these series. We're also linked with Hannibal, who is a 26-year-old Tunisian, still at Manchester United. Very good player again, but there's no money, so these have to be loans. And the fact that it mentions it there, oh, it's got my hopes up, and it's going to disappoint, isn't it? Let's take part. There's 15 hours to go. It's still mentioned there as well. Loan deal for Ederson. Please. Please let it happen. 13 hours to go. I have 7 inbox messages. What have we got? We've got an offer, but it's for someone called Dominguez, and it looks like it's been rejected. So I don't think that's what we were hoping for. Dominguez he's a 3.5-star ability centre midfielder, but he's 31 years of age. I don't actually know what the offer was, but either way it's been rejected, and he's not quite the same ability as the two they were showing me. Fiorentina have made a loan bid for Nelson, which has been rejected, and rightly so, because it's an awful offer in terms of wage. We've got a press conference on the Champions League draw, which we'll do in a minute, and I don't know what that offer was, but I want that Ederson on loan. You've teased me, now go and deliver. Well, back with 11 hours to go, we had an offer from MK Dons for Stuart Middleton accepted. It is 135 grand up front with some add-ons and a percentage of next sale. He has gone. He's a good young keeper, but he was never going to make it here. So, someone with potential. He's had a loan in non-league. We'll see how he gets on. 11 hours left though, no sign of any more ins. And I just feel like we've been teased. Why did that deal for a world-class player even get mentioned if there's not even going to be an offer? I'm going to be very frustrated at the end of this, aren't I? 8 hours to go. Potentially big news alert. Neil Johnson is the owner at the moment, and the message says transfer budget increased. But by how much? And is it enough to help Dougie? Please be good. It's not bad. From 4 million up to 18.6. So basically, that Champions League TV revenue has been given straight to us. I'm really happy with that. Derby have made an offer for young Brian Jarvis, 875 grand. I mean, I would have snapped their arm off for that. But Dougie, very different man to me. The director of football is taking care of business. I have full faith in Dougie. Now go and get me that Ederson on loan. Surely 18 million covers the loan fee. I'm getting frustrated now because every hour we're getting little media questions about top quality holding midfielders. Karabali, as far as I'm concerned, can leave, so we'll hint that in the media. There's offers that have been accepted for one of our youngsters on loan, Ayman Al-Fahad. We'll see how he gets on elsewhere. But I really want one deal, and Dougie's got the budget now. But the fact we're not getting any offers is really starting to irk me. So hopefully, even if it's not quite as good, we can get someone in before the end of the day. Now come on, Dougie, don't disappoint us again. 5 hours to go. Offer made by Dougie Friedman. It's been rejected. We'll see if he's made a new bid, but it's a player we recognise. Sambi Lokonga, who's had a decent start to life at Arsenal in real life, must be now, what, mid to late 20s in this save? He is 29 years of age at Espanyol. He's solid. He's not great. He's looking at someone for cover now, rather than the brilliant players he was looking for at the start. But I take him. Now, has he made a new bid? No, he made an offer of 18.75, which is rejected. He's basically offered the whole budget and there's nothing else left to give. So unless somebody goes out the door in the next hour or two, Castrovilli, Tyreek Mitchell, Karabali all wanted, then I don't see how he gets someone in, because at the moment he's being priced out and we've got people like Artur and Karabali sitting there with no threat of playing whatsoever. 3 hours to go, 4 messages. If it's not on offer at this point, it's probably going to be too late to get done. But it is an offer. Joe Willock, 14 million. He's a backup midfielder, but he's versatile, he's homegrown, and he's decent enough. Again, I'd take it. I just want an extra body in there at the minute. Jarvis, an offer has been rejected from Bristol City, this time over £1 million. Not really sure why he's not been sold, because he's not that good. Let's skip ahead though and see if this Willock deal gets done, because it could be a positive end to the day just yet. Well, it's been a busy hour. The offer was negotiated by Aston Villa for Joe Willock. They added in an appearance fee of 2.8 million after 50 games, which has been accepted. And Dougie has offered a contract, 37 grand a week. He's having to take a pay cut, and it will put us over the wage budget. So I don't know if there's going to be a late out, but if we can get him, it adds a little bit of depth. It adds a little bit of physicality where Arthur's dropped off, and it adds an extra option for the first team, which I'd be happy enough with. Not the gem that we were looking at the start of the day, according to the media, but a good homegrown signing nonetheless. So hopefully with 3 hours to go, this one can get over the line. And it has. Joe Willock has joined Crystal Palace Football Club. We've got to actually drop someone out of the 25-man Premier League squad now, because there's already 25 on the books. So bear with me a moment. I'm going to have to choose carefully. Karabali has been dropped out because he's wanted, and the director of football has hinted as of the media that he might be leaving. We're going to ask Mepham to welcome Willock, another addition to the squad, and hopefully someone who can help us in the Champions League. We're not going to be bringing in Sambi Lokonga now. That is the transfer budget gone. The only question is whether anyone leaves, because there's interest in a few youngsters on loan. Well, I don't know whether getting his midfielder has freed Dougie up, whether there's some late EFL panic, but we have seen a couple of deals now with 2 hours to go. So, loan offers for Karabali and Edwards, some rejected, some accepted. Edwards has gone to Rotherham, who are paying all of his wages, which is very handy, and Rotherham, what level are they at? League 1 maybe, Rotherham? I don't think they're in the Championship. No, League 1. Karabali has gone to Bristol City, who have wanted him all day. They're paying all of his 20 grand a week, and he's going to be playing in the Championship. So, 2 pretty good deals there. Paid back most of the wages that we're paying Willock. That's a pretty good end to the day, I'd say. Arthur, one I'd love to get out the club, but probably the biggest, and maybe the only real flop of Dougie Freedman's stint since we've been in charge. Chris Mepham, the best trainer at the club. With 2 hours to go, unless there's the odd other youngster out on loan. I think that's pretty much it then. Seems all the logical work's done. The transfer window is shut, and we have got a couple of deadline day deals. One in, Joe Willock, £14 million, but bolsters the squad, gives us another option. And he's versatile enough, isn't he? In emergency situations, can play as both wing positions, holding midfield, centre mid, and even, according to this, as a centre half, though he won't be playing there. But that's a really good signing. I'm happy with him. We also saw 2 players go out on loan, 1 youngster leave permanently, but Cameron Edwards and Andres Karabali will get football in the EFL this year. We should also mention wage expenditure, still the 7th lowest in the Premier League, despite the fact we're in Champions League football now. And what an awful draw that was. But if we go and have a look at the schedule, that will determine when we're next going to be back. I know it's 3 episodes very early in the season, but we have to show Bayern Munich at home, our first Champions League game of the series. And what a tie as well. Them and Real Madrid in the same group. It's going to be an absolute barnstormer. But if we can nick third, if we can stay in Europe after Christmas, if we can edge past Monaco, and you know what, that's a hell of an achievement for us. It might be a struggle, but we'll find out just how much of a struggle next time around. If you did enjoy this episode though, a brilliant comeback win against Arsenal, a massive Champions League draw, and a deadline day signing too, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from 2 long-term stories, and hopefully I'll see you next time for our Champions League debut as a manager in this career.